So we have a breaking update to this case. If you missed the first podcast today, the story goes: Peter Kangethe is an alleged suspect in the murder of Margaret in Lowell, Massachusetts. Okay, so it's Kevin. It's actually giving me a different update, but let me just come over here. I'm gonna give you it's crazy that we actually had another case of a Kenyan who had killed a woman in Massachusetts. So, Sir Alex, this story is it's just something else, man. So let's get into it. Investigators in Massachusetts are working with authorities in Kenya to locate a murder suspect after a woman's body was discovered in Boston Logan International Airport parking garage. Destiny James, man. This is sick. This is sick. I received these news when I was having the 4 p.m. podcast, and it made me sick to the stomach. Again, investigators in Massachusetts are working with authorities in Kenya to locate a murder suspect after a woman's body was discovered in a Boston Logan International Airport parking garage. The body of a Whitman woman was found in the central parking garage at approximately 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday. That was yesterday, according to the Massachusetts State Police spokesman, Dave Procopio. The victim, she was later identified as Margaret Mbitu, 31, who was reported missing by her family on Monday. Allow me to say this: if there's anybody who's watching and you are either from Massachusetts or you know the victim or you know the suspect, please be my guest. Send me a request, and then we can have a look at it. We can talk about this. This is going to be the main topic on tonight's podcast. Mbitu was a nurse and was last seen leaving work in Halifax. Okay, so the victim was a nurse. Last time she was seen leaving work at 11. I think they're saying she was seen leaving work at 11 p.m. on Monday. There was a flyer that was posted by her co-workers on Facebook. According to the news report, evidence indicates that she was the victim of a homicide, Procopio said. Now, let's look at the details of the suspect. Investigators identified Kevin Kangethe, 40 years, of Lowell, as a suspect in the case. Procopio said detectives have obtained a warrant for his arrest and are working with law enforcement in Kenya to find him. Now, the investigation indicates that Kangethe and Miss Mbitu knew each other and that the homicide was not a random act. There is no threat to the public or to Logan Airport travelers. Now, this is something that has been mentioned in the report. The arrest warrant documentation obtained by News Center 5 indicates that Mbitu and Kangethe were dating. Thank you very much, Wanji, for correcting that, because I saw someone posting about some online dating. This has nothing to do with online dating. These are people that they came from law. So actually now this for me is actually breaking news, because I had not read that part, but the report says that they were dating. When the news, when I received the news at 4 p.m., I was live, and that was my first question. I was like, hey, what was the relationship between Kevin and Margaret? They're saying they called her Maggie. Okay. So they were dating. Jesus Christ. There are too many questions in this case. And someone had mentioned to me that the suspect has been arrested, but I cannot confirm that. I don't see any public press report that Kevin Kangethe, the suspect, has been arrested. Fact is, he left the airport. Now, are you guys familiar with the case? Those who are watching? Wanji. Do we have anybody who's watching here in the USA? Anybody watching from the US? Anybody who's watching this podcast right now who's from the US? Who's watching here, who's watching but is located here in the USA? And second question, are you familiar with the case? If yes, drop a comment in the chat. Because personally, I have a lot of questions. I have a bunch of questions I would like to ask as we proceed. Oh, Nati, you're familiar. Okay, Wanji is in Arizona. I saw it in Kenyan community group in Arizona, and it's so shocking. Goodness. So, of course, you know, this story has to be, I'm sure it's all over in every Kenyan group in America, be it Facebook or especially Facebook. That's why they go heavy with the groups. I'm sure that this story is up there. So, Wanji, I was playing with different scenarios here. Destiny in Colorado? Okay. Okay, thank you, Destiny. And we just found out she was murdered. So you just found out. So you just found out that she was murdered. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I got Arizona, Colorado is in the building. Got you, shut out. And everybody else. Now, I got some few questions here. So, did the suspect leave the airport? Because it was being said he fled, he fled to Kenya. So I'm trying to understand the chronology of events leading to him escaping and taking the flight. Okay? So let's start asking ourselves these questions. So I see we got Arizona is in the building. Colorado is in the building. Okay? Okay, these are some match invites. When did Chris? Oh, Nora, I see you. Welcome, Nora. California is in the building. Chris, they are saying that he is found. Oh, really? Okay, someone had actually mentioned that to me too. Okay, so guys, be my guest. Just welcome to Vote TV, the Vote TV podcast. You can send me a guest request and we can come and kick it. So Shiro is saying the warrant was issued for the suspect, but someone is saying I've got 2 people now telling me that the suspect has been arrested. For those who are saying that he has been arrested, where was he arrested? Gaslight Papi, Dallas is watching. Welcome. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. If you're new here at Vote TV, just make sure that you follow Vote TV on TikTok as we continue to grow. And I'm going to have a full like the whole press report is also going to be on Vote TV YouTube as well. So Nati, you're saying he was arrested at the Kenyan airport? Oh, really? Okay. Okay, that's great. Emma is in Massachusetts watching, Boston watching. Watching from North Dakota is in the building. Thank you guys, thank you. Okay, so now I'm gonna pay attention to the comments. So he was arrested at the Kenyan airport. Now, okay. Something else that has also been confirmed according to now this is a press report is that Kansas in the building. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Now let's see what's going on. Wanji saying, yes, so he left the airport at Boston and was arrested at JKIA. Let me actually put it in. Let me see if I'm gonna get like any Kevin Kangethe. Let me do my quick chat GPT search. Kangethe arrested at JKIA airport. Let me see if I'm gonna find this here. Yo, guys, this story is on Washington Post and New York Times. This story has been featured on the Washington Post and New York Times. You know what that means? Oh my God. That's it, he's done. Let's have a look at this. More comments coming in here. And we're gonna but check this out. This story has been featured on, listen, it's Washington Post and New York Times. It's on Washington Post. CBS News too. Man, the guy is toast. The guy is toast. The guy is toast. Now, they're saying that Kangethe and Margaret were in a relationship. They're saying that Margaret and Kevin Kangethe were in a relationship. When I was told about this on the 4 p.m. podcast, the person who broke the news knows the sister to Maggie, but he could not tell much at the time. Sheldon saying it's everywhere. Now let's go to I wanted to talk about the nature of how she was killed. Destiny James is saying he stabbed her, so she had stab wounds. Okay, now I'm gonna ask you guys another question. Did Kevin kill Margaret, then put the body in the car, drove to the airport, left the car at the garage, and then fled to Kenya? Or did he stab her upon arriving at the airport? Now, I need a very clear answer to that question. Can you guys answer that question? I mean, for those who are familiar with the case or who have more information. because that's the one thing that I wanted to get the factor. Okay, so she was already killed. Okay, so my presumption at the time was right. Sprinkler saying the body was apparently found on the passenger seat. Okay, okay. So, man, the body, man, he even put the body on the passenger seat, brother, man. I thought like maybe, like something, not even in the trunk or something. So she was stabbed and found on the passenger seat of the car. God damn. Okay, let's backtrack to the last time that Maggie was found. Okay, Maggie was seen alive. So according to her co-workers, the last time that she was seen was on Monday at 11 p.m. Right? She was leaving work and she was wearing, I think, dark pants, pair of pants. They even described the hair, straight hair, tied. Okay, good. So we can continue. So, and that means after leaving work at 11, that was the last time that she was seen alive. Trixie, you're coming in right now, but I know this guy will be caught even if he went back to Kenya. Now, the breaking news is that he has been arrested. I'm not finding a clear report, but I can say what ChatGPT is telling me right now. Okay, I can tell you what ChatGPT is saying. Okay, I have one report highlighting that the suspect was arrested at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's piece this thing together. So Kevin kills Maggie, then puts the body in the car, puts the body on the passenger seat. Drove to the airport, dumped the car outside. Am I accurate? And then went and took a flight and left. Okay, we're gonna piece all this thing together. I was about to ask that question too. He's saying, I heard he used to work at the airport. Please don't tell me that he used to work at Logan Airport. That's one G asking who is Kevin and what's the motive. So that's going to be something that the prosecution is going to have to determine before they even file the case. Next question. Did he just board the flight without even booking prior? I can, analyzing the facts on the case so far, I would say this was a very clear premeditated murder. He thought about it clearly, he executed. Okay, Shiro saying he was working at Logan Airport. Are you kidding me? Are you guys kidding me? Now, this is crazy. Oh, wait a minute. Let's actually have a look at another Is this him at work? That looks like airport uniform, right? And that, if I'm not wrong, that should actually read Boston, right? Can actually look like yeah, this is the killer. This is crazy. Yeah, that looks like airport, like something that someone would wear at the airport. Okay. Okay. He booked his ticket on Tuesday. Now, thank you very much for all the information that you guys are providing here. It's actually helping me understand the case even more. So let's go through. So I'm going to ask you one more question. Did anyone see Maggie after she left work at 11 on Monday? Some people put too much in a relationship that starting over hurts a lot. Something happened here. I suspect she was trying to break away from the relationship, trying to break away from the guy, and he snapped. And he killed her. Okay, someone is saying, no, she never made it home. So after Monday, so she leaves work at 11 p.m. So she never made it home. So that was the 11 p.m. call. When she left work, that was it. Oh, Jamani. Alpha Bravo is saying I know this girl, she was a nurse. She was a nurse. You even have a number? Alpha, where are you watching from, man? Let's go back to more facts to what's being revealed right now. Someone is saying, I used to do nursing papers for her. Are you in Massachusetts, Alpha? Or you in PA? Oh, Jesus Christ. Alpha, are you seeing this case right now? Sweet girl. No, this even gets more emotional. We got someone who knows her. Got my sister in PA and saying that she used to do nursing papers for her. So you're just seeing this right now? Oh my God. Let me talk to Vic. Vic is saying, I just saw this on the local news in Massachusetts. Yeah, this story is all over the place. All news channels in Massachusetts are covering this story. This is just too sad, man. But those who are watching here, welcome to the podcast. But those who are watching, we have someone who actually knows the victim. Let me actually try to see. Alpha, can you just send a request? If there's anybody who knew Maggie, or if there's anybody who knew the suspect, you just feel free. Send a request. I'm going to bring you up. Okay, let's have a look at this now.
Hey, I've just seen this.
Yes, hold on. Just hold on. Just give me seconds. Just give me 1 second, sis. Just give me 1 second, okay?
Okay, let me
Stay
mute.
right there. Stay right there. I'm gonna change this. It's gonna be better. Alpha, talk to us.
Yeah, I knew her back in 2019. Alikuwa nafanya nursing and in Kenya nilikuwa nafanya watu papers. You know how you do it? Like people say
Yeah, yeah,
do for them. So vile
yeah, najua.
nilikuja kazini yake anaitwa Leo ndio aliniambia, "Oh, I have a nursing cousin mwenye anaweza fanya hizi because she's busy." So I
Yeah.
have her number. I can turn on my camera right now.
Okay, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
Okay, I have her number because sasa tulikuwa tuna communicate namfanyia hizo ma assignments. Just the
Yeah,
assignment, si mtihani.
yeah.
So I'm so shocked and I'm really sorry that, oh my goodness.
So you're finding out on this
Right
platform.
now. Hata sijui ni nini nimefanya niingie TikTok because it's very late. Nimesema tu, let me just pass through and the first live nimeingia ni hii and I just seen this.
Wow. Let me see. Someone is saying I'm in Massachusetts. So sad. I knew her too. We just talked during her cousin's wedding just last week.
Okay.
Let's do this, guys. If you know the victim, if you know the suspect, feel free to send a request and come and talk to Vote TV as we proceed. I do appreciate you.
This is shocking.
So Alpha, when was the last time you saw Maggie?
I haven't met her physically. Nilikuwa namfanyia papers online, but I have her WhatsApp. I have this picture. This is her profile picture kwa WhatsApp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one that they're using for the press report.
Yeah, that's the profile picture that she has on WhatsApp. So we talk. Hata nitafutia even other students that nilikuwa na work na wao until when I graduate. She's so
Yeah.
sweet and so soft spoken. I mean, I wonder what could have happened mpaka mtu akaamua kumfanyia hivyo because she's sober minded and very soft spoken and very sweet. Si mtu wa makelele.
Do you know what's crazy, Alpha? And this is actually what I was talking about during my podcast at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Jana usiku. Yesterday, for the first time, I decided, you know what? I'm gonna address and I'm gonna speak about what Kenyans in America don't talk about. That is alcoholism, depression, and domestic violence cases. That was the topic last night. That was my topic last night. You guys remember? I said, you know what? I'm gonna talk about it because looks like people are scared to talk about this topic. People are scared to talk about how Kenyans are depressed in America. People are scared to talk about how Kenyans are drawn into alcoholism and drug abuse, and also about the issue of domestic violence and suicide. Now here we are. Exactly 24 hours later. There you go. Am I right? Can someone, please someone say that I'm wrong.
No, you're right. You're right. America is lonely and it's very depressing. Usipokuwa close to family members, if you don't have like friends, it can really be ugly for you because hauna support system. Uko peke yako and your job.
Yeah.
So ukiangukia ukiangukia mikono ya a bad partner na hauna mtu kukuambia, you end up in such a situation because hauna mtu kukuambia. You don't say it, so watu hawajui until this happens.
And here we are, America. And now let me tell you something. Now this is Kenyans in America, and now this thing is spreading like wildfire. Alano.
Ni aje?
Buda karibu.
Asante sana. Buda, mambo vipi? Uko salama?
Let me say, when we lose one of our own, atuko salama, but we are here. Thanks God, we are still here.
I know. Nimekuwatch sana ukisaidia Saudi na every part of our country, every part of the world nimekuwa ukisaidia kila kitu. Lakini hujaisaidia Amerika, jili uko America, uko independent, uko everywhere, but saizi umetouch America cause kuna vitu zinaendelea America behind the scene.
It's here.
Yeah, so I think
you know Alano, hii topic niliongea jana usiku. Do you know actually what's crazy?
Nilikusikia sana. You are prophesying something. Nilikusikia.
Listen, Alano, let me tell you something. This is crazy.
It's crazy.
Maiti ya Margaret ilipatikana 6:30 p.m. at the airport. And I swear in the name of the living God, at 6:30 p.m. jana, hata nimeangalia my recordings from yesterday. At 6:30 p.m. I was addressing the issue of domestic violence yesterday on this podcast.
Nilikuwatch sana. Hata saa hizi nimekuwatch sana before nilale.
It's crazy.
So Budo, acha nikwambie. Sijui kama umewatch, kuna ingine ya Texas, a Kenyan guy alilan over wife yake in Texas. Sijui kama umeiona, kuna video inaendelea. Jamaa fulani alifukuzwa na bibi yake after kulipa mortgage almost like 10 years, akafukuzwa na bibi yake. Askari koti order ikamwambia atoke, but atakuwa akisaidia watoto na kusaidia
child support and
child support and the mortgage.
Yes.
So do what you're saying about the depression na vitu vingi vinaendelea huku Amerikani. Jamaa aliona hakuna haja, wacha mimi niende jera, lakini bibi yangu. Alafu unajua huku Amerikani unakujua vizuri, kama uko na boyfriend na utaki your husband na mume divorce, unaleta huo jamaa unamleta kwa nyumba yako yenye huyu analipa the mortgage.
Okay, now just for some correction in the chat, some people are saying that was not Texas, it was a road rage in New Jersey. I will say number one, everything has to be approved.
I think nitakuinbox hiyo video, angalia kama iko Texas ama nini, lakini niliona kwa message iko Texas.
Now, there's something I would like to say. Kumbuka, here in America, issues of domestic violence of this nature or domestic suicides is very common.
It is on a high level.
Okay. Hiyo ni kitu fanyika state day in day out. Now, but now let's funnel and break this thing down. Orlando, it's too loud. Let me mute you first.
And on depression pia, it's so unfair that American system, ati if you're married ama we're a couple na tukosani, the man has to go. Huyo mtu anaenda wapi? Where is the guy going? Anakuwa na depression and end up like the Nigerian guy that killed the wife too over the same issue. Walikosana, akatupwa nje na makarao. Alikuja na akamshoot. Because it's so unfair. It's just not.
Alpha Bravo, we can even, and you guys help me remember which state it was. But a few months ago, remember the Kenyan woman who was the nurse, who was killed by her black American husband. The husband killed the woman, killed the 3 kids, and took his own life.
Oh wow, he was African American.
He was African American.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah, nice as a tunaka bahati.
Remember? Nakumbuka your story.
Yeah, I know, but I thought the husband was a Kenyan. Wow.
No. He was black American. And there were signs of mental health. Why he did it? Actually, it was sad because I remember that time when it happened. A few days before, he had posted a very sweet message for his wife. I think for the birthday or something. Kentucky, Shiro. Yeah, you're right, Shiro. It was Kentucky. Okay. Now, issues of domestic, this kind of cases are very common in America and Europe. About the Batanga Nipale, let's say the wife is seeking divorce from the husband, and then the next thing unasikia mzee ameoa bibi, ameoa watoi. That happens all the time. But let's dump this thing down, and let's have a very open conversation as Kenyans here in America. I will also stretch out and speak to Kenyans in Europe. Now, for those who are tuning in, welcome to the Vote TV podcast. Remember, I do two podcasts a day. 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and now I'm doing 11 p.m. Eastern Time. So, we have to address this issue. Kwa sababu, someone called me last week from Texas, and she told me, Nelson, nakwambia hivi, our people are perishing and they are dying here. We have cases, people are drowning in depression, into alcoholism, into drug abuse, and there are also cases of suicide. But looks like, let me throw this challenge out there. How many Kenyan churches do we have in America?
There's so many.
How many Kenyan churches do we have in America?
I don't know about other places, but unaona kama I live in Allentown, right? There are like 3 or 4 in like one street peke yake.
Okay. You see, angalia, life nasemaje, alcohol is a major problem. Thank you very much for approving that. A lot in Texas, ndio hiyo. You see? Now, kuna kitu moja nasikia nimeambiwa sana watu wengi sana. Remember me, I made my calling was to start addressing the issue of oppression in the Middle East, and that has been my calling, and that's been the foundation of OTV. The issue of oppression of Kenyans in the Middle East. But now, it's time. It's God's time, and I will step up to address the issue of depression, drug abuse, domestic violence in America and in Europe. In other words, welcome to surprising America and surprising Europe. Mbona watu waongei? Unasikia mara mingi watu wanasemaje? Look at Dante. Now let's have this open conversation, guys. I know a Kenyan church where if you invite a new person, you pay $200. There you go. There you go. Mambo imeanza. Ama Dante unapata, that means, for example, like they say, hey, if you are, let's say you have a problem. Let's say you're having a problem of depression, you're having a problem of alcoholism or whatever. They will start asking you questions like, oh, which church do you go to? Now, let's continue. You know what? We're gonna have this conversation. It's like I was prophesying something yesterday. Okay. Now, pia nimesema kama kuna mtu ambaye anajua, if there's anybody who knows Kevin, who's the suspect in this case, please, to my request. Alpha amekuja hapa. Alpha amesemaje? Alpha new Magi. Let's go back to this. I'll try as much as I can to read your comments and continue running this conversation. Yeah, Alpha, go ahead.
There's someone here anasema when us ladies tunapata career tunaanza madharau. That's not the case though. Madharau, no, Kenyan na siku baya. I know you're Kenyan too, and I know there's a lot of Kenyan men hapa. Kwanza African men. When they come to America, they get shocked with the system. Hapa sisi tunapewa faida ya kukua independent. Like, we can make our own money, have our own bank accounts. Wajazoea hivyo. Kenya you earn, unaleta salary nyumbani, mnagawanya na bwana. Like, it's normal. It's just a way of life back home. Ukifika hapa and you know, oh, so I can have my own savings, I can have my own kitty. Uwe bwana yako anaona kama uko na madharau. It's not necessarily that. It's just the culture is different. And women obviously take advantage of it. Because Kenya, we don't get that. Tunaambiwa bow down 24 hours. Anyway, that was just my point. Don't quote me.
Okay, that's Alpha's point. I would like also to hear from the perspective of a man as well. Now, Upe is saying they want the traditional bride, which is not realistic here in the USA. Now, let's have this conversation. Because now, this thing has happened, right? Maggie is dead. Maggie has been killed. He has been killed by Kevin. They were in a relationship. Correct? Someone is asking which state. This was in Massachusetts. And the body was dumped outside Logan International Airport. I'm going to ask you a question. Do you keep quiet and throw everything under the rug? Or do you stand up and address this issue to avoid the next Maggie from getting killed? The breaking updates, those who are just see the people who are joining in. The suspect left the country. The suspect fled. And what we are being told right now, it's alleged that the suspect has been arrested at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. I'm going to wait for full confirmation of that breaking news. Now, what do we know so far? Maggie was last seen on Monday, 11 p.m. when she left work. Her co-workers even described what she was wearing. And then, the next thing, yesterday, now it's past midnight, so let me say on Wednesday at 6:30 p.m., her body was found in a car at Logan International Airport, at the garage. Something else that has been said on this broadcast is that Kevin, the suspect, was actually working at the airport. Let me actually read the statement here, Tokyo. Tokyo, nime na comment yako. I had seen this guy had a wife and 3 kids in Lowell, Massachusetts. I need that to be confirmed as well. Yeah, someone had mentioned that to me. Ya kwamba huyu jamaa alikuwa na bibi na watoi.
Is it confirmed pia kama walikuwa in a relationship, or maybe it's just business gone sour? Or
those are all these are, you know, we need to get all these things confirmed. Remember here at Vote TV, let me say this. I know the power of my platform. What I do is everything, before I air out everything, it has to be confirmed 100%.
The way I know Maggie, akakuwa knowingly in a relationship with a married man.
Okay. Let me read a comment from Double OP. They were in a relationship which actually has been confirmed. She was trying to break up with him. That has been confirmed by the sister. She was trying to break up with him.
Was he separated then? Ama alikuwa na go through divorce?
Let's keep on. Let's keep. I mean, more. Let me pick up some guests to come and talk about this.
Hi everybody.
Hi Kenny.
Hey, this is so sad. I'm at work, so I'm on low volume.
Okay, no problem.
Nimesikia concern ya Alpha, or was she reading someone's message? I don't know, but akasema, was she confirmed that she had a relationship with a married man? And I was like, wow, huh? how can this be of concern? Did he not know he was married? Does that matter? Like, does it matter why she got killed? The reason, I mean, the bottom line is he killed her, and it doesn't matter what the reason was. So people must stop this.
Vindicate for being killed. Well, my question was, because I know her, hata kama ni kidogo, did she know? Hiyo tu kuuliza tu, like, out of the blue. This is not, your question was not related to the topic.
Hiyo question haifai kuulizwa hata, because it does not matter whether he was married or not, because he knew he was married.
I agree.
Yes, I mean, if I'm single and I'm dating a married man, he is the problem. Because me, I'm looking for somebody. He shouldn't be looking for people.
And also, that's going to also divert us from actually the true cause of what has happened. Yes. So let's focus on the case.
So it doesn't matter.
Kenny, where are you watching from, by the way?
I'm watching from Ohio.
Okay, welcome to Vote TV podcast. Let me ask you. Let me throw this statement and throw this question to you. What do you have to say about the issue of Kenyans facing depression? Others have drowned in alcoholism. Women facing domestic violence, and the issue of suicide here in America.
So, as somebody who is living in America, watu waache kujiekea vitu zingine. Because if I'm facing depression, I mean, you should tackle what is really happening. Probably you're alone or something, and alcoholism, tackle that. But usieke, and then, well, I may say that there are a lot of depressed people around, but people must tackle what is depressing them. People must see what to go about it. Maybe, you can come here online and make noise and, talk it out, see counselors and stuff like that. Lakini, watu hawajajiuliza, is it better here ama ni back home? Because some of us here, we cannot go back home because it wasn't good back home. Kama uko depressed hapa, what about when you go back home and you don't have even that money? So, watu wache hizo. Like, if it's a issue of violence, I might say it's even worse at home. And as a man or a woman, if you come with a mentality of neza chapa bibi yangu, I can bring that violence here in America like it is at home, you are doomed, because America will not forgive you if you're a wife batterer or you are a violent person. You will not forgive you, because uko nyumbani you can escape it, but here outa escape. So people must change their minds, and they change their mentalities about, kuchapa watu and violence and all that.
How do you change the mentality? Let me actually mention something else as we proceed with this podcast. Maggie is not the first Kenyan to be killed by a Kenyan man in America.
Yes.
Because of indifferences in a relationship. Is that true?
Yes. That's true.
Why? So, number two, this is something that people don't address publicly. I don't see people having these conversations publicly and then saying, hey,
sure,
this is what we can do. This is what we can, let's actually create a program for, let's say, amongst us as Kenyans, right? Let's say, let's have a program that is going to, where women can go and vent out and talk about these issues, or where men can go and talk about what they're facing as well. What is driving them to get to their point? Would you say we have failed in that area?
First of all, is it just goes back to to people back home. When you're coming here, let me just go somewhere where I can shout. So when you're coming around, ukijua unakuja America, just read the laws, change your mentality. Ukikuja huku ujue, I can come to cook, I can look after my kids, I can do this while my wife is tired from work and sleeping. If you don't change your mind direct from Kenya when you're coming here, kukuja huku kuchange mind ukiwa huku, it will be very difficult. And that is one way that people, especially men, wanakuwa violent because wanaona ni kama wanadharauliwa na mabibi zao. Kule nyumbani nimekuwa nikipikiwa, nimekelea miguu kwa meza, nimepikiwa, nafanyiwa hivi. But here is quite different. We don't have nannies. So if you don't change your mentality from that point, you're having it wrong. And also, you also have to, teach your own kids, after umekuja huku, watoto wamekuwa hapa, wengine wamezaliwa hapa, teach them. I mean, it's something that comes from within na inagrona wewe. Teach them from that. And yes, the society, male society, I mean, not male society, I mean, Kenyan society here is failing because we are not talking about it, especially men. Women have a lot of empowerment here. We have groups, tunaongeanga, we don't hold it back.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
men don't talk about their problems. And very few men, even back home, will go to a counselor. Hakuna mtu atasik therapy mwanaume. Ukiwaambia, I think we have a problem with our marriage. Can we go see a counselor? Wanakuuliza, we, ni nini hiyo ananiambia yenye sijui? They will not. And that is also wrong. But a woman will simply go, and even if they know they will not probably benefit from it, but they will still go. And also they go to churches and they open up, but men do not. So
men do not
start it from
men do not
go. Yeah.
And actually, you can see I can even give a perfect example. The people who are engaging in the chat, or the people who are actually sending requests to come up here, it's women who are always prepared to go on the front and communicate and talk, while men just take a step back and don't speak, and then wake up in the morning, and then we have something like this that has happened, which is really it's a tragedy. Let me welcome Dorothy K. Welcome to Vote TV podcast. What do you have to say? And those, if you're new here at Vote TV, please follow the host. Follow this platform. This is what I do here every day. I do 2 podcasts a day if you're new here. 1 at 4 p.m. Eastern Time and 1 at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's go, Dorothy. Talk to us.
Thank you. This is the first time I've joined, and it's so sad that somebody would act judge or jury to kill somebody. Like, just walk away. You don't have to go to that extent. And yes, I do agree that men don't speak up, and that's the problem also. But I'd like to disagree with my sister when she said that adjust your mind. When when you come to America, we already have that notion of Hollywood life. You know what I mean? Because that's what we've been seeing on TV. We're never shown this other side of America, right?
Absolutely.
So when you come, you hit different, and people come differently. There are people who come like students, people who come like with green cards, people who come as visitors, and everybody, depending on your status, you will face different challenges, right?
Challenges, yes.
And
absolutely.
Sometimes it's above you to say, sort it out, find a way. Because maybe you just can't. Like, you don't have the capacity to. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes leading to depression, it's not something that you decide, oh, I can snap out of it. It's not. And then, the thing is, when it's like people running into alcoholism, it first starts as social drinking, because we know how Kenyans like drinking, right? So weekends, maybe when there's a national holiday, things like that, it starts as social drinking, right? But at the same time, you also have, after you finish social drinking, after you finish having fun with your friends and pretending, oh, everything is fine in your life, you go back to your stress, you go back to your life, right? And then the thing is, from my personal experience, that's why I said it's very hard to say deal with the situation or get over it, because I was once in a situation whereby I felt lost because I was depressed. I didn't have nobody to. And then the thing is, I was I was more open, or I was more bubbly and chatty when I was back home. But when I came here, when you try to be that person, people shun you, especially people from church. I saw you guys asking like, oh, there are many churches and things like that. People shun you because
First of all,
Dorothy, we're gonna have a very unfiltered, open conversation because unfortunately, people don't like hearing the truth. But it's time for us to speak what people need to hear, not what they want to hear. Continue, Dorothy.
Yeah, so like I was saying, people from church, like there's a way you can be yourself, but people from church don't want you to be yourself. So when you be yourself, then they start saying, oh, you're being too much, you're not acting ladylike, oh, women are not supposed to do this. And I realized back home, until I came here, and when I used to interact with guys or people back home, nobody ever told me like, oh, a lady is not supposed to do this, a lady is not supposed to do this. But when I came here, people were just throwing that opinion like, hey, and I'm like, why are you guys so aware or conscious of how a woman is supposed to be? But back home, it's like nobody really cares about how a woman is supposed to be. And that's what I'm saying. And that leads to my point of men having to get to this point. Like you say, they don't speak up, but at the same time, even though they speak up to other men who are narcissists like them, because I feel like she said, when you come to America, you're supposed to adjust your attitude, right? They expect you to act like a woman back in Kenya, but we are in America. Things are different. The economy is different. We both gotta work, right? Forgetting back home, most of the women are kind of have to be treated like housewives. You know what I mean? But they don't really get that pressure because back home we have the luxury of having house helps, right? But you come to America, you don't have house helps. So the lady ends up doing everything without help. And then the man just wants to come home and sit up and say like, oh, where's my food? Where's this? Where's that? Forgetting that we were both working. We were both tired. But why is it just, but I'm not saying that women we can also do our things, but men feel entitled that we have to, like, it's their, I don't know how to put it.
Dorothy, there's something also I'm going to mention here. I'm going to invoke some few statements as we proceed with this discussion. Again, I'm going to challenge my Kenyan community here in America. I said this yesterday. It's like I was prophesying, man. I said this last night. I was like, you know what? I'm going to start addressing this topic because it seems like nobody wants to talk about it. It's going to be uncomfortable. People are going to start making noise. The churches are going to feel attacked, and they're going to feel like they're losing their followers or they're losing their money or whatever. But let's speak the truth. We have to face the truth. Because number one, Maggie is not the first one. So let's stop acting like we are surprised. Oh, Mkenya ameuliwa na Mkenya huko America. Let's stop acting like we are surprised.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not here to preach, but I'm here to speak the truth. Maggie is not the first one. Let me tell you my story, Dorothy. Do you know how I came to America back in 2014, right? I had just left Germany. When I came to America, the first week nilifika America, there's a Kenyan who committed suicide. Now I will never forget. She was the daughter to a pastor. I don't know any Kenyans who believe who maybe have lived here long enough and who remember that story specifically. And my reaction was like, hey, a Kenyan has committed suicide in America, and she's the daughter of a pastor. Now, guess what, Dorothy?
Yeah.
Not even 2, 3, 4 weeks later, another Kenyan commits suicide in Georgia.
And the funny thing is, sorry to interject. The funny thing is,
go ahead.
When a person commits suicide, especially from the church, then the church will come together for like maybe 2 Sabbaths. Youths will gather, people will gather, oh, we need to talk about mental health, we need to do this, we need to do this, blah, 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 right? It will run for like at most a month. After that, everybody goes to their normal lives. Everybody goes to judging. The same thing that led to that person killing themselves, you go back to doing that, right? People suffer with alcoholism. It's not their choice, but the church shuns you because you're drinking alcohol, so we cannot associate with you. That sidelining you is what actually makes somebody go deeper into their problems. And like I said, and everybody has different not sio kila mtu ako na ile aja kusema I need to stop this.
Hana Kirogo, I see your comment. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Dorothy.
So not everybody has the will or discern to say, okay, I am falling into deep, I need to pull back. There are people who can do that, but there are people who just sink and sink and sink, and they can't help themselves to come back up. And if we shun them and we don't help them, then they will see I have nobody who wants to even know what my problem is. I don't want to go to church. They start sidelining themselves. They start isolating themselves, and that's how it happens. You know?
Now, which brings me now to the next question. And we're going to have this conversation. I'm having this conversation with the audience, and I want us to be proactive, and I want us to be realistic. Maggie